I'd like to thank deputies for participating in the debate, and I think a lot of points were raised which I won't have the opportunity to answer in great detail. However, I just to reassure both the workers and the House and the region that I am working really intensely to develop a just transition strategy. As you know, I secured in the budget an allocation for just transition from the Carbon Transition Fund. So we have allocated 31 million for this. I convened a group immediately to develop the aggregation model for retrofitting. It will start with social homes within the Midlands region, but also aims to involve a lot of other homes in addition, so that we genuinely have a scheme for developing a sector, a strong sector within the Midlands. I recognise, and Deputy Stanley is not here at present. I recognise the valuable asset we have in Mount Lucas, and I've been there with Deputy Corcoran Kennedy, and it really is a valuable asset that we can exploit. In response to Jack Chambers, I am working out the detailed terms of reference for a Just Transition Commissioner, which I hope to complete shortly. Obviously, we have a cross-government team led by the Taoiseach's department, which we are putting together those details so we can ensure that every element of that can be properly furnished and that we have a comprehensive response. I have been working with the European Union to ensure that we develop the potential to support alternative activities, both in restoring the bog assets that we have, but also in wider activities that would, as I know I already have had, as in Loughborough, where there's already very valuable facilities developed, that is a real asset in the community. I'm also liaising with the country transition teams within the European Union, which have been working on the coal restitution approach to support just transition there. So I can assure the House that we are giving this intense attention. I know that there are some, but they're no longer here, who believe that our attention for climate action is all a conspiracy against the people. I just like to reassure people that that is not the fact. We will be judged. We will be the first generation that fails to pass on our world in as good a condition as we found it, unless we get serious about dealing with climate. Unfortunately, that does mean transitioning out of fossil fuels, and there is consequences for that which we recognise, and that's why the attention of government is focusing on just transition. We can't stop the gradual withdrawal from fossil fuels, and we have to make sure that we support people and find alternative outlets for people, and that's what we're determined to do. I recognise the point made by Deputy Chambers about giving legal assurance around that the use of the money raised by carbon will be exclusively for just transition, support of climate action and so on. That will get attention from government. I can assure you that that is the wholehearted commitment that we intend to do that, and how that should be structured from a legal perspective is something that we certainly will consider. I believe that there are valuable opportunities in restoring our boglands, notwithstanding the criticism that some deputies have given. They are genuinely a huge asset. They can be part of managing carbon much more effectively, and I think we do have to make sure that we do this in a proper way, and I think that will provide valuable employment opportunities, but also be a valuable part of using those assets for purposes that help us future-proof our country. I do recognise criticism that have been made, and I've spoken to workers myself. There is discontent with how industrial relations, and I hope, and I've seen in the Board Namona statement, that they are willing to use the joint structures that have been chaired by the Workplace Relations Commission, and I think that is a good model for dealing with difficulties, and I certainly urge people to use those facilities of the Workplace Relations Commission, who I've dealt with in previous capacities when I was Minister for Jobs, and I've absolutely confidence in their capacity to manage even the most difficult situations. I am determined that we will move ahead and have in place a just transition approach. We will have an independent Just Transition Commissioner, so that that really important liaison between people in the communities, among workers and government can be built. And I think that's really important to develop that, and I'm determined to do that. Thanks very much.